Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have a short clip of a custody hearing in the case of a couple where dad is motioning the court for adequate cause to change their parenting plan with a laundry list of claims against mom that include keeping the children out of school, bouncing them around between different schools, using his children as her childcare, having no set bedtime for them, having a boyfriend who is mentally abusive and has a drug problem, allowing the children around her father, who he claims is an alcoholic, and for making the children feel guilty about wanting to live with their father. Does dad have the evidence he needs to back up these claims, or is he making a big deal out of nothing like mom says? Let's find out.
All right, can both of you hear me?
Yes.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, this is the matter of Aldridge versus Aldridge, case 16, 4180-DM. Both parties are present via Zoom. This is a motion made by the father, Mr. Aldridge, regarding custody. There was a consent judgment that was entered back in 2017, where it appears the mom got the kids during the week and dad had them from Friday to Sunday. He now claims that the kids have been in many different schools. There's some attendance issues there. She uses the kids as a babysitter. No set bedtime for the kids. Says the boyfriend has a drug problem and is mentally abusive. But then it also says mom has moved back in with her parents. But he's got problems with the grandparents also. Makes the kids feel guilty that they want to spend more time with the dad. That's in essence what he says. She's been in Pine Rest. Sir, anything else? What do you want to say? You got to meet a standard called Vidvarka, means proper cause or change of circumstance since the last custody order was entered. So
Yeah.
tell me how you meet that.
I just would like to have the opportunity to have the kids in a more stable, healthier home with more consistency of their mental health, because they've been moving around so much, so many different schools. You know, my oldest is 13 and she acts like the mother of their half brother, and they don't have any sports they get into. I would like to, no organized sporting events for school. They get promised that, but then nothing gets followed through with.
What is sporting events? You got a 13, 12, and 9-year-old.
Correct.
And they're saying they want to be involved in extracurricular activities, but what is it that they want to be involved in?
Olivia wants to do softball and horses. Annabelle will do cheerleading and volleyball. And then Charlie wants to do football, wrestling, soccer, everything a 9-year-old boy wants to do. So we just got Annabelle in the cheer camp this week. And then we got signups for flag football for Charlie, and Olivia is next. We have school already lined up and paperwork already processed for them to go to school with. It would be my fiance's other 2 children. All 5 would go to school together.
Where did they go last year?
They went to Eastern, Forest Hills, Eastern, and Nap. Oh, no, sorry. They went to Kent City last year.
All right. And where are they scheduled to go this year, ma'am?
It would be Hopkins with the other 2, maybe step siblings.
Let me hear from Miss Aldridge for a minute. What's your response?
Olivia just returned from a trip to Florida with 4 of her friends. Her attendance issues began at the beginning of the year because she did not want to move. She had an in-house suspension at the beginning. In terms of using her as my babysitter, I can verify that I paid for a babysitter, and then he was also in a formal daycare for the duration of the year. I only worked 2 days a week. I did at the time. Saying that I have moved them to schools. We initially moved here in 2018 into the Forest Hill School District. we moved out of the district for the first time last year, and Kent City was not a good fit for us. And so we came back to Forest Hills. Charlie has been involved in lacrosse. He has participated in a Ninja Warrior class. Annabelle has done volleyball. She has done, just this year, she's done volleyball that Adam has been to her games. Charlie, he's this year, he just he didn't get into much. He was really sad about not being able to redo lacrosse again because Kent City doesn't have that team. And he was participated in it last season with his cousin, who also is at Forest Hills Eastern.
Let me ask you this, because I'm not sure. You say the kids have attended Forest Hills for almost the whole time, except for
Yes.
1 year last year, Kent City, and now they're back in the same school that they were in before?
Yes, sir.
Sir, what, I mean,
They've been to
what's wrong with
Cooper.
that?
Olivia went to Coopersville for kindergarten. For kindergarten and first grade, they were at Harrison Park. But Livy was
in first grade there. She's got to be in, she's 13.
Yeah.
I mean, so what, she went to Cooper's. I'm saying she's primarily over the last 4 or 5 years, the kids have attended Forest Hills. They went 1 year up to Kent City, and now they're back in the original school.
Yes. And they're enrolled. Everything has been taken care of.
Sir? Yes.
What?
Yeah, before that they were in Coopersville, and then school off of Leonard and Harrison, and then
it sounds to me like that would have been 5, 6 years ago.
Correct. They were what grade were they in? Third and fourth? No, not third and fourth. Second.
No, they were in first. They were in
second and third was, I think, Harrison schools.
I'm saying no. It's been, how many years were they in Forest Hills, sir?
I believe 3 years.
3 years.
2 on, 1 off, and then support, and then this year, if they go back, it would be this year.
Well, they're going back right now. We'll see if you want to fight and train schools. That'll be a Lombardo hearing, but it seems like they're returning to the school that they are used to, and everything. What else do you have to say? I mean, I don't know what there is to find a preponderance of proper cause or change of circumstance to have a custody hearing.
Well, Olivia, last year almost failed 7th grade because of how much school she missed. She missed it goes by period. First hour, she missed 70 hours. Second period.
I read your stuff, all that she missed. That's one child, and
and then my second child missed 33 hours and then 26 hours. So there's a consistency of absences and for school there, and a lot of the time, from what I've
said that it wasn't a good fit. She said she's moving them back to the original school.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good fit because they didn't really go to the school. They've missed so much school that because they had to stay home and be the mother's babysitter for their half child, which is I witnessed when I went over there one time to return a computer. All 4 kids were there by themselves on a Monday, not at school, watching their half brother, and they should have, at least all 3 of them should have been at school, and the half brother should have been at daycare.
When was that you went there?
It was, I have pictures of it.
Tell me about when. I mean, was it winter or what?
It was winter. Yes, it was winter time.
Why didn't you file this back then?
Well, I didn't feel the, I don't know. I should have. You're right. I should have filed it then.
Why didn't you? Did you talk to the schools about this and try to correct some things and stuff?
I called the school and asked how much school they missed. I didn't realize how much, after that happened in winter, I didn't realize how much school they missed. And then I called later and figured out how much school they did miss.
When did you call then?
It would be in June.
After they were out of that school?
Correct.
And after they're going back to the same schools, right?
Yes, that's the original plan, yes. Yeah, she has, she put them on HDHD meds that I had no idea about. Apparently my oldest only takes it when she's tired, I guess. Um,
Don't you have joint legal?
Mhm.
correct. I was not told about any of the medical changes. I was not aware of it until my kids told me that they were on HDHD meds. Two out of the three. It would be Olivia and
You mean
Charlie.
ADHD? Are you talking about ADHD meds?
Correct.
Okay.
There's also, I just see too much, the kids they don't rely on her. She was 2 hours late to pick up Annabelle from volleyball. She was sleeping.
No.
She was late to take Olivia to her Florida trip. Because I got a call from my daughter at 3:30 morning, said mom's 2 hours late. So I jumped in the car to go grab her, and then all of a sudden mom shows up. And this is 3:34 in the morning.
Mhm.
Also I found a prescribed inhaler in my daughter's backpack or whatever for that her mother gave her to use for asthma. She wasn't prescribed for asthma. She wasn't prescribed an inhaler. It's an inhaler for albuterol.
Okay, have you
Which
talked to the doctors about any of this now?
she did not. No, I just
You
found. Oh, did
have
I?
you
No, I didn't know.
why haven't you do you know who the kids' doctors are?
Yes, Dr. Igerson's office.
And you have yeah. Mom's shaking her head no, that it's not that doctor. Do you know who the kid's doctor is?
Yeah, it's Gail and it's Family First Pediatrics, or I can't remember the name of it. I have it on my phone.
Where is it?
It's right there in Cascade-ish, Ada,
It doesn't.
right off of 196 and the Beltline there.
All right, ma'am. One thing I'm not gonna put up with from here on, all right, is he's to know all doctor's appointments.
He's been aware of it.
I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna put kids on medication without getting it to him. I know you're gonna say he knew about it, and he says I don't, and I can't figure it out here today on a Friday morning, whether he did or didn't, okay? But
Yep.
you understand what I'm saying. Joint legal, I'm going to enforce that, and I'm not doing anything right now. I mean, I don't know, all right? I don't know if you told him or not.
Right. I understand. And it's A+ Family Medicine, and it's off of Michigan Street, and they've been going there since they were born. Olivia, she had saw one physician 13 years ago for her first home visit when she got home from the hospital, and that was at Cascade Pediatrics. But from there on out, they've had every single vaccination get administered since that. From there on, from the same medical assistant. They've seen the same, Adam has seen the same physician there too. He was also a patient. I've had Charlie was also, I've got notes. I printed off Charlie's, all of his doctor's visits with the notes from Gail, including the school psychologist who did a behavioral analysis on Charlie, in addition to Mrs. Ewing, who was also Livy's teacher and then was Charlie's teacher, on her concern of Charlie's impulsivity and how it was creating such a boundary to make him even have friends. It wasn't a matter of as for Olivia just has the prescription. It's not like she is consistent with it. She hasn't taken it, but Adam was aware, and it was also discussed between the physician, especially with Charlie, because Adam was not going to administer it. And at that point, it would have been neglect on my part not to, because it was within the best interest of my child.
Listen, this is how it works. You have joint legal. He knows about it, you know about it. If you can't agree, I gotta make the decision.
Okay.
And I don't want to. I'll tell you this right now. I do not want to make those decisions because you guys gotta do it and everything, but you understand, the rules are the rules, all right?
I know. I understand.
If you guys can't get along, then I gotta enforce these rules, all right? Are you currently in a stable residence? Is that with your parents?
Yes. Yep. We are good. And my significant other he doesn't even have a criminal record. Um, I I don't know where he could allege that he even is a drug abuser, or he or that my dad is an alcoholic. These are just
I understand these are
unsubstantiated
just
accusations.
allegations and I get this all the time. And
Okay,
I mean, does your dad have a recent drunk driving charge or anything?
no, he was a vice president of a winery for over 30 years and has never had even a hiccup. So
All right. Where's your proof, sir, of any of this kind of stuff?
Well, my proof was the other week, where he came up to my car when I dropped my daughter off, and I could smell the beer and cigarettes on his breath, and he was yelling at me about when his dog bit me, and I called the cops on his dog, and then he was yelling at me and threatening that he would kill me if I ever called the cops on his dog again, and then he punched me in the jaw, and he has a drinking problem. He always has.
Has he been charged with anything?
no,
I have the police report.
I don't care. Has he been charged?
No, I don't know that.
I mean, I don't know. And what do you have about the boyfriend? That has he been charged? Does he have criminal charges?
He was on steroids, from what I understand. Cops were called on him for that.
no,
For him acting erratical. So the cops are called on that. That's when they're living in Kent City. There's holes in the walls from him hitting the walls, losing his temper. And that's what
When did you find out about that? Why didn't you find it?
The kids told me about that. Yes.
This is like he said, she said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Most of it is correct.
And I got to have something of probable cause for proper cause or change of circumstance to have an evidentiary hearing. Nothing I've heard so far raises to that level because I mean, I don't have anything.
I don't think the kids would be in a great healthy environment going back to their grandparents because the grandfather's a drinker. He came up and punched me in the car while my daughter was there.
That's between you and the grandfather and the dog and all this kind of stuff. That's not enough to change custody because you don't get along with the grandfather and because he's ticked off at you because you said his dog bit you and then you called the police and he's mad because you're trying to get his dog, euthanized probably. This is
all three kids said that they would like to live with me and go to school.
Yeah, well, all three kids, that cannot be a reason. Okay, it is not allowed in first place. If we had a hearing there, I would interview them for their preference, but that's only one of like 12 factors.
Right.
And it can't be used as saying, the kids want to come live with me. That's not proper cause or change circumstance.
With a lot of the school that they missed too last year.
Well, that's the closest thing that I even hear to anything, but I don't, ma'am, you're aware.
Absences at Forest Hills were less than 5 the previous years. I think at most when Charlie had COVID, he missed 8 days, but it hasn't even exceeded 10 days in the last 4 or the years prior.
All right. Well, look, you're on notice right now that if these kids do start missing any substantial school, that will be enough to.
No, I understand that. It was, a lot of it was adjustment. I'm a nurse, so I had to leave in the mornings and it was an expectation that was set forth. Livy was old enough I would wake them up, get them ready, get Mab ready for daycare. And they just needed to get on the bus. Everything was set forth. And I would get text messages saying, Mom, I'm not going to go. I don't feel good. And I worked at Trinity Health at the time. And before that, I was working with hospice. And I didn't have the flexibility just to leave what I was doing at my job.
I don't believe, at least at this point, that Vidvarka has been met. I'm just warning you.
I know. Okay. I was just explaining myself.
I'm just okay. I got others to get to here. So
okay.
I'm just warning you here and now that you're aware of what his concerns are. And they will be my concerns if the kids start missing more school. Although I don't have anything to show truancy, I don't, if they miss so much time, usually Kent County, will get involved and talk about truancy, send out truancy letters and stuff like that. I don't have anything on that. I don't, as far as setting time for kids to go to bed, that's not an issue. I don't know that, I mean, you say he's got the boyfriend has a drug problem. He's living at, is he living there also?
Nope, nope. We decided just to go back to what made us all good and where we were at and build from that.
All right, it doesn't appear that he even lives with the kids now.
Nope.
As far as the grandfather having a drinking problem, I don't have any. I don't have any proof other than he punched you because he was mad because you tried to get his dog taken away, probably. And this idea that the kids are being made to feel guilty because they want to spend more time with dad. That's and that the kids want to live with him. That does not form the basis for a Vadvarka finding for having a custody hearing. If you can provide me other more specific or more, if there's some evidence of some things that you allege here, I'll take another look at it, but at least at this point, I have to deny request for custody because I do not think you meet the Vadvarka standard for proper cause or change of circumstance. And I'm not gonna put up with any other stuff about joint legal. It's not, I mean, you can't even tell me where the kid's doctor's is. Sir, that tells me something also. So good luck, everybody. I'm gonna deny your motion. Thank you.
Thank you.